I would try to upload all the homework problems today before I left. So that is what I'm going to try to do as best as I can, and I'll try to make the videos about 10 minutes and we'll see how many of them it takes. Problem number 5 is one where it says estimate the slope, and here's the thing about estimating the slope. When you estimate the slope, your answer may be different than mine because it's really hard to tell where that line is going, but it's something like this. So you want to count up and over. So I think they say that it goes to the point 5, 8. So the slope would be up 8 over 5. You may have found a point in here like up 4 over 3, I think is what some people said. It's okay. It's real hard when they don't give you the actual points that are on the line to be able to estimate it. So I'm good with anything that's, as long as it's positive and the rise is bigger than the run, you're probably okay on that one. All right, problem number 10. They give you an equation and they want to know the slope and the y-intercept if possible. And they ask you to sketch the line. And again, I told you didn't have to do any sketches because you can graph it on your calculator and take a look at that way. But number 10, y equals x minus 10. This is already in slope-intercept form. So the slope is the coefficient of x, which in this case would be 1. We don't have to write that. And the y-intercept is the number that's by itself, the constant. So that for this problem is negative 10. Problem 15, 7x plus 6y is equal to 30. I've got to solve this for y before I can decide what the slope and the y-intercept is. So I subtract 7x, and I get 6y is equal to negative 7x plus 30. Divide everything by 6. I get y is equal to negative 76x plus 5. The slope is negative 7/6, and the y-intercept is 5. Number 15, nope, that was number 15. Number 20 is x minus 2 is equal to 0. And if you remember your notes from the other day, this ends up being x equals 2. So the slope of this line is undefined. It's actually, if you think about on a graph, x equals 2 would be here going up and down. That would be x is equal to 2. So the slope is undefined because it's a vertical line and there is no y-intercept. Vertical lines don't have y-intercepts. So that's number 20. All right, number 25. Number 25, they want you to plot the points. Again, I told you you didn't have to plot them, but also find the slope of the line. So 25 goes, the points are fractions, 11 halves, negative 4 thirds, and negative 3 halves, and negative 1 third. So it's y2 minus y1. So negative 1 third over minus negative 4 thirds over negative 3 halves minus 11 halves. So the top, negative 1 third minus a negative 4 thirds, if you do that, you can do it on your calculator, you can do it by hand. If you subtract those numbers, you get 1. And then negative 3 halves minus 11 halves is negative 7. So the slope of this line is 1 over negative 7. All right, problem 30. They give me a point on the line, and they tell me that negative 4, 1 is on the line, and the slope of this line is undefined. And they want to know what are 3 additional points through which the line passes, and there it says there are many correct answers, because if you think about a line and how many points there are on a line, there's so many points we can't even count it, and however many you came up with, there'd be more than that. So as long as I give 3 more points that are on this line. So negative 4, 1 is on the line, and it's got a slope that's undefined, so that means it's a vertical line. So if I wanted to name some other points that are on this line that negative 4, 1 is on, I could name negative 4, 2, or negative 4, 0, or negative 4, 500. Anything that's negative 4 something is on that line. The x values, this line, it has the equation x equals negative 4 if they ask for the equation of the line, which they don't. They just want 3 points that are on the line. So I've given them 3 points that are on the line. Problem 35 is the same thing. They give me the point negative 5, 4, and they tell me that it has a slope of 2. So if I think about negative 5, 4, and I'm going to try my best to draw this. I could have brought down, probably would have been better if I'd brought down a graph. On the next one I will, so that's a little bit neater. Tell you what, I'll do that right quick. All right, here we go. So negative 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is here. And if it has a slope of 2, that means it'd go up 2 and over 1. So that would be a point. I can also go down 2 and backwards 1, down 2 and backwards 1. So some points on that line would be negative 7, 0, negative 6, 2, and negative 4, 6. And basically, I want to go up 2 and over 1. So you can add 2 to the y and 1 to the x and keep doing that. 2 to the y, 1 to the x, because it's going to go up 2 and over 1. All right, problem number 40. They give me 2 lines. So in problem 40, line 1 goes to the points negative 2, negative 1, and 1, 5. And line 2 goes to the points 1, 3, and 5, negative 5. And they want to know, are these lines parallel, are they perpendicular, or neither? So the slope of line 1 on the top would be 5 minus negative 1, y2 minus y1. On the bottom would be 1 minus negative 2. So I get 6 on the top and 3 on the bottom. The slope of line 1 is 2. The slope of line 2, negative 5 minus 3 on the top, 5 minus 1 on the bottom, I get negative 8 over 4. This slope is negative 2. Well, they're not parallel because they're not the same number. They're not perpendicular because they're not reciprocals, opposite reciprocals. So the answer here is these are neither, not parallel, not perpendicular. That just means they're going to intersect, but not at a right angle. All right, problem 45. Here they give you a graph, which I do not have here. But if you look in your book, they give you this graph of AutoZone stocks. And they're going up, I don't know, different over time. And so A says, use the slopes to determine the years the earnings per share showed the greatest increase and the smallest increase. So for greatest, looking at that picture, so you're going to have to look in your book at this picture. These are the years 1991. 1 goes with 1991 and 11 goes with 2001. So what I want to find is where does it look the steepest? And to me, it looks the steepest between 2000 and 2001. So that would mean the year 2000 had the greatest increase per share. And the smallest, where it looks the flattest to me, is at year 1, which would be in 1991. Part B says find the slope of the line connecting 1991, 0.33, and 2001. So I'm going to use the point 1, 0.33, and 11, 2.38. So it's 2.38 minus 0.33 over 11 minus 1. Which is, I'm doing this in my head, 2.05 over 10, which is about 0.205, or I'm going to round it off 21 cents. Since we're talking dollars and cents, I'm going to round it off to 0.21. C says interpret the meaning. What this means, this is my average rate of change. So on average, the stock for AutoZone rose by 21 cents per year during the years 1991 to 2001. That was the average. It didn't go up 0.21 every single year, but on average for that 10-year period, that's about how much it went up per year. All right, I'm going to do one more and then we'll stop this video and pick back up. Problem number 50. Whoops, that's a little too high. 50 says that in 2003, so that's, and it says let t equal 3 represent 2003. In 2003, the value was $156, and there's a $4.50 increase per year. Okay, if it's increasing per year, that's the slope. So $4.50 is going to be the slope. And then after year 3, it was at $156, and they want to write a linear equation. So I'm going to use y equals mx plus b. I know the m, that's how much it's increasing per year. What I have to do is find the b. So I'm going to use this for my x and my y and try to figure out where was my starting point. So m is 450, x is 3. So that's 156 equals 13.50 plus b. Subtract 1350, I get 142.5 is equal to b. So it's y is equal to 4.50x plus 142.5. And that would be the linear equation that would describe this situation. All right, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to pick up at 55 on the next video.